When I was a little girl, my dad, who was with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, played summers here at Meadow Brook Music Festival, and I was very fascinated from a very early age with mansions.
Hi, welcome to Meadow Brook Hall. We're hosting the Strolling Nutcracker Ballet, where guests will get to follow the performances from room to room. Meadow Brook Hall is a National Historic Landmark and the former residence of Matilda Dodge Wilson, who was the widow of auto pioneer John Dodge, as well as the founder of Oak University. Meadow Brook Hall is known for its 110 rooms, 88,000 square feet, and its Tudor Revival style architecture.
Well, I've always danced. I was in the Nutcracker for many, many years with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, and we were sitting around my house one night at dinner with some colleagues, and they talked about a Nutcracker that was done in a mansion somewhere in another part of the country. And I was really intrigued, and I said, well, what do you mean it's in a mansion? And they said, well, it's in a mansion. They go from room to room as the story unfolds. And I said, so how would that be done? And one of my dance friends said, well, easy, you don't bring backdrops in, you have this setting of this grandiose home, and that was it. I think I was on the phone within a week. The choreography is, we take into consideration that the choreography is being done in a museum-type home, and there are many, many artifacts that are priceless, so we take into consideration the age of the dancer. It was a challenge navigating the first year, but we mapped it out on paper and really dotted all our I's and crossed our T's, and it just worked.
We've accommodated different lifts for different ceiling heights. I remember last year we were doing the snow pagoda and we couldn't do a certain lift because if we did, we would literally be in the ceiling. So we had to change some of those lifts. I would say, in general, most of the steps haven't changed because of the venue. It would just be spacing and the way that we have to move through the space or change our facing to accommodate a different audience that is in a round versus being in a proscenium type stage.
Nutcracker is my favorite ballet, not just my favorite holiday ballet, it is my favorite by far of all of them. And mostly because of the connection with my father being in the symphony and myself dancing on stage. It was kind of a special time for me as a youngster getting to do those things where he was in the pit playing and I was on the stage dancing. So we kind of got to go to work together. So when I was growing up, you did one of two things if you were a girl. You danced or you played an instrument. Nowadays, kids can do anything. I mean, girls have the same opportunities in high school that boys do. They play sports, there's so much. So I think from that respect, it's changed. But the true genre of ballet, the discipline has not. Well, it was so funny. Last year, we had so many people that, just the comments at intermission. I was walking around and kind of mingling with the crowd as just a guest, and just the comments that we heard were, isn't this amazing? This is beautiful. You feel like you're in the home of these children. It's so real. They were so excited that they were so close to the dancers, and there was even one guest that we had that every time Fritz, the mischievous brother, did anything, she would be very vocal about it. She'd go, oh, Fritz, he's doing it again. And she really got into the whole performance. So it was really, really interesting to see a whole different kind of an audience than when you're sitting very reserved in an auditorium.
You can learn more about the Nutcracker at Meadow Brook Hall on DetroitPerforms.org.